We'll flow a few more times through that airplane, stretching the backs of our legs, filling ourselves up today with optimism. Seeing a challenge and finding an opportunity. One or two more of our flowing airplanes. We'll turn this into a flowing chair where you inhale up, exhale, come into a flowing chair. Or you could be on your chair. A few more. Letting go of all competition this morning. Any expectations on your body, your practice. Go with the flow. Continuing to notice how we are anchored down into the earth through both feet. One more flowing chair pose, and if it feels okay, you can turn it right into a full forward fold. Inhale up, exhale, hinge and dive forward. Depending on how the back is feeling for you in this moment, we can add a small back bend up at the top. If you're taking care of your back, perhaps choosing to keep your hands at heart and just doing a bow up and down, focusing on lengthening the spine. If you're on your chair, for your forward fold, you have a little bit of space or a lot of space between the knees. Optimism. One more flowing forward fold, and then we'll be holding it all the way up, reaching for our right hand and tipping over to the left. All the way up over to the other side, 4 or 5 breaths. Feel that nice big stretch, widening across your rib cage on your left side as we also press into our feet. Let's bring our hands to our shoulders, draw our elbows together, tuck our chin, stretch our neck. Inhale, open, exhale, tuck and stretch. Oh, 10 more of those lovelies. Focusing on progress, on progression. Check in with the neck. How's it holding up? We tend to carry a lot of tension in our neck, our hips, our shoulders. So let's give it a nice, lovely stretch. Last one. Hands come back behind us. Let's widen across our chest now. If it feels okay, hinging forward, staying here. Filled with an enthusiasm for life. Let our heads hang and dangle. Let's release that one. Rising back up, inhale up. Finding ourselves in our extended mountain. So anchoring to the earth through our feet whilst we reach up to the sun. A slight hinge forward. Notice the core, so just a little bit, maybe a quarter of the way down. The hips are back a little bit. We're reaching whilst we anchor to the ground. Feel the core, the strength. Let's bring our hands to our heart and rise back up. Moving into our moonflowers and our sunflowers. Let's step your left foot back so that we turn towards the windows or wherever you turn towards at home. Toes go out onto an angle. Big breath up, inhale. Exhale, let's bend our elbows, bend our knees, and start to move through our moonflowers. Breathe. Shifting the hips back, moving with your breath. Awesome. A couple more. It feels okay, touching our thumbs together up at the top of our movement, but pressing into both of our feet. Couple more. Feel your body. Notice the air on your skin, the air entering the lungs. And let's turn this into a sunflower if it feels okay for that big hinge to go down, bend our knees, sweep back up. Exhale, hinging down. Maybe creating a circle. Thumbs touch at the top, pinkies touch at the bottom. That circle can represent our connection to the natural world, our connection to the breath, the circle of life, so many things. A couple more. Last one. We'll be moving into a wide squat. So shift the hips back, open up across the chest into goddess. Breathe. Let's take our left hand to our left knee and reach our right arm up. Twist here. Well, not a twist, more of a flexion on the back. And then to the other side. Let's flow side to side. If you wanted to add a little more to this, you could take your elbows out and go side to side. If that feels a little too intense for this morning, you're down on your mat, flowing side to side. I mean your chair. A few more. Sorry, maybe this music seems to be on repeat. It's amazing. All right, my friends, straightening out our legs. We'll reach out in all directions. Pressing into both of our feet like we want to rip our mat right in half. Whilst we reach for the opposite corners of the room. Star pose. Breathe. Step or jump back in. Hands come to our hearts. And we'll turn our toes back up towards the top edge of our mat to make our way into our sun breath. So if you need a drink right now, give her. Or need to adjust your clothes, of course. Best part of class, those pants.
Remember, Jeremy might be watching.
Oh yeah. Don't do this like I always do. Away from the camera. Honestly. Big breath up, inhale. Exhale, airplane halfway down. Time for our sun breath. Back up, breathe in. Now a full forward fold or stay where you are. Halfway lift, our hands come to our shins, our shoulders roll from the ears, and then folding again. Pressing into the feet, rising all the way back up. Let's move into chair pose. Exhale. Inhale, back up. Exhale, a strong mountain pose. Feel the core come in, the pelvic floor holding in your organs, and another sun breath, rise up. Exhale, halfway down, just see how it feels. Back up, breathe in. If that felt okay, go right into your fold, breathe out. Filled with optimism, halfway lift. Folding again. All the way up this time, maybe the thumbs touch, the eyes close as we sit back into our chair pose. Back up, breathe in. Exhale, a strong mountain. Feel the peak of your mountain peeking out from the clouds. Let's do it again. Rise up, inhale. Exhale, halfway down. Back up, breathe in. Exhale, full fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Navel comes into the spine. Exhale, fold. Sweeping up to the sky. Gather in that optimism. Exhale to chair. Feel the strength of your legs. All the way back up and into mountain. We've got a couple more before we move on. Rising up. Exhale, halfway down. Back up, breathe in. Exhale, full forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold again. Inhale, rise. Reach for the sun. Press into the earth. Exhale to chair. All the way back up. And meeting in mountain. One more. You can do it all on your own or stay with me. Inhale, up. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, up. Exhaling, full fold. Or another version, anything that feels good. Halfway up, fold again, sweeping all the way up. Exhale to chair. We've got One more, and we're actually going to meet in your chair pose where you're going to stay for about 10 breaths. So check in with your knees. If you are taking care of them, you don't have to go up so far. It's a small bend and a shift back, pressing into the full foot. But check and make sure I didn't leave anybody in the waiting room. Nope, looks good. Let's straighten out our legs, come back up to our mountain pose. Wonderful. Time for our cat and cow. If you'd like to move down onto your mat, onto all fours, you can. You can take a seat on your chair or do a standing cat and cow. So if you're standing, we'll bend our knees, bring our hands to our knees for cat pose as we tuck slightly, and then look maybe right between our knees or at our toes. And then turn the tailbone up a little bit, roll the elbows around the rib cage to open across the chest, and then go back to cat. Flowing through that, you'll notice how the strengthening is happening in the quads. If you're on all fours, well, you're on all fours. Same thing, moving one vertebrae at a time. Taking this time to connect. Feeling hope, feeling love surround you today throughout your practice, and high hope throughout your day. A few more. One more cat, one more cow. If you're on all fours, you'll stay there. If you're standing, well, you'll straighten up so your knees won't be bending anymore. To move through our spinal balance, reaching our left arm in front of us and our opposite knee either coming up or extending. So you could use your chair. That's a good one for your knee to stretch it and bring it back. Maybe do the same side if you're taking care of your knee, do about 5 of them on one side and then 5 on the other. If you're on all fours, opposite hand and foot, extending and flowing. Inhaling as we lift, exhaling as we bring it down. And of course, I'm always thinking about trying to close our eyes and bring that awareness within. But this is a tough one to do, especially if you're standing. That one's a tough one to do with your eyes closed, most definitely. Amazing. Last one. Just finishing off wherever we are. Meeting in a standing mountain pose. So if you're in all fours, you could step back to down dog or step forward to forward fold. Let's make our way into our mountain pose today. Breathe. I run out of time. Oh yeah, we're good. So let's grab our straps. We're going to do a little bit of work with our shoulders. I'll go across our backs. There we go. And keep our arms nice and wide. Oof. Okay, let's take, if we're up to the tops of our mats, we'll be taking your right foot back, moving into your warrior 2. So your left knee is bending and our arms are opening up wide, reaching with our straps. Breathe. Trying to keep the tension on them. Now, if it doesn't feel nice for you, you don't have to use your strap here today. Sinking into the support of your legs, pressing down into both of our feet. Breathe. Feel, listen. Find the breath. Stay present in the moment. Straightening out our front leg now, reaching your right hand forward. We're trying to keep the tension on the strap to hinge down into triangle. So this is where you'll notice if you do reach back too much, the tension will be lost in your strap. Breathe. Or you can tuck your top arm back behind you, that's fine too. Breathe. Pressing into both of our feet. Our triangle pose is here to help with core strength, to stretch the legs, and to find stillness. Rising back up with a straight leg. And now the left arm reaching up. Doesn't have to go too far, just opening up across the body. Connecting to our breath through movement. Bring it back straight or bending our left knee now. We're back into our warrior two with our strap nice and wide. Placing your left elbow on your left knee. And we'll take that strap actually back behind you. So it's just in your right hand, dropped down back behind you. I'm just going to go to camera view just for a second and I'll come back. All right, so this is where we're having fun with the bind today. Actually, it might be easier for you to look at this. Our front leg is bent. Now we're going to try to put the back of our top hand on our back. We still have the strap. Then we're reaching for the strap here. That's our bind. So it's kind of back underneath that leg. So we'll show my camera, folks. It's kind of back underneath your front leg. See, this is how we're creating optimism this morning, right? Progression through a pose. This is the prep pose for our bird of paradise. So we're here. Oops, sorry, Susan.
Oh, no, that's okay. I had it over my arm instead of my hand.
All right. This is our bind. So for some folks, they might bring their hands together. And if anyone wants to try a little bit more, you bring your back foot up beside your front foot. Optimism, progression, that's yoga. Wonderful. Yes, okay, let's do the other side. So now your right foot's coming forward. So what I'm going to do before I get you into halfway into the pose, I'm just going to show it to you first of what we're trying to work on today. So if you're at home, again, take a little look. We have, once we get there, we're in a side angle with the strap back behind us with the back of our hand on our back. And that's where you can be. That can be enough. And we'll reach for the strap like so. So it's underneath that front leg. The front leg is bent. And for anyone wanting to do more today, we bring the back foot forward and lift the front one with the strap. Okay? Bird of paradise. Well, our version. You could even just go. Everyone at home is feeling the same way. They're like, what?
This is the best I can do.
Yes, yes. That's why we're creating optimism today. It's a progression towards the peak pose. And that was our bird of paradise. All right. Let's do our warriors on the other side. Right foot forward and our left foot goes back. We're stretching across into our warrior pose here on this side. If your legs are not feeling the greatest today, you could take a seat on your chair, but still try to press into both of our feet. Breathe. Stretching our strap, reaching in opposite directions. Straightening out our front leg, hinging down into triangle. Breathe. If you're taking care of your top shoulder, tuck your top arm back behind you. If you're taking care of your knees or your legs or your back, shorten your stance with your legs. We'll look at our front foot, lift our back heel, step to forward fold. So up at the top of our mats, take a little forward fold. You can let your strap go if you want to. Let the head be heavy, let it dangle. stretching our neck just with the weight of our head. We can grab our elbows if that's something that feels okay. Rocking side to side. Bending our knees and putting our belly right on our thighs. We have a block in front of us for our chair. So this is bear pose. Some options are to keep your block here or to reach it forward. A bear. Bears represent a lot of strength and resilience and strong legs, which we definitely all have. Let's straighten back to our forward fold. All the way up, inhale, grab your hands. Take a little tip over to one side. We do our bear flow. Tip over to the other side. A little back bend at the center. Moving into a forward fold with the right hand down on our block or the floor. Reaching our left arm up into a twist. Other side. Both hands down. Now we bend our knees and either keep our hands on our block with our belly on our thighs or reach your block forward. Bring your ears kind of in between your arms if possible, but if not, just enjoy the strength of your legs. Forward fold, exhale, sweep it all the way up, grabbing your hands, tip over to the other side, a little back bend, and another fold into our bear flow. Right hand goes down on or off our block, left hand reaches up, maybe even bend your right knee, back to fold, maybe bend your left knee, reach your right arm up. Come back to bending our knees, placing our lovely bellies on our knees, choosing to stay here or reaching your arms forward into bear. Strong, stable, resilient. Forward fold, exhale. Let's sweep up, this time tipping over to your right, tipping over to your left. A small back bend if that feels okay. And a nice fold. With or without our block, we'll bend our right knee, reach our left arm up, twist. Over to the other side, bending, twisting. Bending the knees deeply, belly comes down, extension and reach into our bear pose for 3, maybe 4 breaths. Forward fold, exhale, all the way up, breathe in. Oh, good job, bring it to mountain. There's our bear flow for strengthening our legs today. Make your adjustments to your clothes if you need to. Actually, still lots of time to go through our poses. We've already covered bird of paradise. We'll do a squat now. Actually, no, we're not going to do a squat in this one. We'll do a squat, upside down squat after with no pressure on our knees. What we're going to do is work on our downward facing dog or at the wall with your downward facing dog. So if you're not wanting to do downward dog today, since it's a small class or you're at home by yourself, you'll move to the wall to do your downward dog. Especially maybe Pauline, if you're not putting a lot of pressure on your wrists or your arms, again, you would be at your wall or your chair like Bernie's got set up. You just make sure that if you were to press onto your chair, it's stable, you're pressing onto the front of it, you step back, and the downward dog is a stretch of the chest and the back of the legs. So it can be there, or you could come down onto the mat and do your downward dog there. So fold down dog, maybe child's pose, chair, or you're at the wall in some version of downward dog. Wherever we are, none of our knees are locked. We're feeling a widening across our heart and equal pressure into our hands and our feet. Downward dog is a version of a headstand. Your head is down below your heart. It's a great way to get there. Get the same benefits. We'll move into a plank pose. So if you're on your chair, you're just shifting the weight forward. If you're on the floor, same thing, shifting forward. And if you're on the wall, still want to have a little bit. So instead of the chest going between the thighs or between the arms, the chest is facing the wall for your plank. Holding this pose today for about 10 breaths. We're almost there anyway. I was talking for at least the first 8 or 7 of them. Let's step it back to forward fold. Take your time. Let the head be heavy. Beautifully done. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold again. Let's do it again. Halfway lift. Now chair pose. Take your time. Make your way into your chair pose. And then popping up into mountain pose. Take a little rock for our hips, side to side. Wonderful. All right, let's do our tree pose today. We do have a few, there's one new person online today. So if it's your first or second yoga class, you have to have a tree pose. So if you're using your chair, it's off to one side, whether that be for your hand or your foot. We'll take our right foot out to the side and turn the heel towards the body. And have these hands out for balance or on our chair. And we'll bring it in. This is where we find our tree. Modifications on the chair. Or on our block, any way you want it to be. Checking in. You can have your arms up or keep one on the wall or the chair. Breathe. Softening our supporting leg, rooting down to rise up. Let's go into a palm tree today. You want to bring your hands to your elbows or somewhere around there, or grab your strap. A little sway. Bring it back. Bring our hands in front of us. Wonderful. Let's bring the knee around. On or off our block. And then one extension. Strengthen. A breath or two, and then bring it back. Wonderful. Let's do that on the other side. So if you're using your block, make that movement over there. We'll rise up. Either keep those hands up or draw them down to your heart. We'll bend this other knee, turn it out, and bring it up. See what feels right for this side. Both sides might feel different. Just realize I've got a lot of stuff happening up here, guys. It might be a bit distracting for you. Shoes, phones, books. You can't see them at home. Palm tree, a little rock side to side. Feeling optimistic today. We'll bring those elbows down, draw our knee around, and try to find one extension where we really engage the quadricep to hug our kneecap. And release. Wonderful. Roll those shoulders back and around a few times. I want to do one more standing flow before we go down to the mat. All right, so let's have our right foot up to the tops of our mat and step your left foot back. Moving into our warrior two, just to start with, softening our shoulders, reaching out. So check in with your back knee. We want to be mindful that not all the weight is essentially more on the inside of your foot or all on your outside of the foot. And that is because if it's all on the inside, you're straining your inside of your knee. If it's all on the outside, you're straining the outside of your knee. So you try to disperse that weight. Strengthen the body. Stacking our shoulders somewhere on top of our hips. Let's turn our right palm up and reach up into reverse warrior. Gazing up to the sun. If you feel as if you might need a little more grounding today, you can take your gaze down to the earth or your back heel. Breathe. Our quote for optimism today: a great attitude becomes a great day, which becomes a great month, which becomes a great year, which becomes a great life. Wonderful. We'll straighten out our front leg. Not quite into our triangle. We already did that one today. A reverse triangle without the strap, reaching our right arm up and long, pressing into our right foot. If this isn't feeling good, always bring the hand back or keep your hand at your heart. We'll be making our way all the way to a chair pose. So as we look at our front foot, we lift our back heel, draw it in, find our chair, and then our bear. Are in one of our peak poses today, resting our belly on our thighs, shifting our hips back, either having your hands on the floor, the chair, or reaching towards me. Focusing on progress. Forward fold, let's straighten the legs, let the head be heavy. Halfway lift, breathing in, shoulders roll back, and then we're folding again. Rising all the way up, inhale, hands up or keep them at your heart, draw them down. Let's do that flow on the other side. Stepping your right foot back this time, bending your left knee, moving into our warrior two on the other side. Our warriors, right here. Soften the shoulders, feel the reach. Allow the shoulders to come down from the ears as we extend through our neck. And quiet the mind. Bring it back to you. Observe your thoughts and let them go. Turning our left palm up, reaching up into reverse warrior, still bending our front knee, checking in with our back foot, making sure we've got equal weight dispersed through that foot. It's strong, it's steady. We can look up towards the sun or back down towards the earth. A gentle opening across the left side of your body, your rib, and a strengthening of your legs, your ankles, your knees. Straightening out our left leg, right up into that reverse, or that's, I think it is called a reverse triangle, or extended triangle. Can again be looking up at your top hand or back down at your back ankle. All right, let's look at our front foot, bend our front knee, lift our back heel, step to your bear pose. Bending our knees, resting our belly on our thighs, either holding our chair, reaching forward, or bringing hands to heart or the floor. Strengthening your legs. With practice in yoga practice, we improve our technique. Optimism. Focusing on progression from the day before or last week. Forward fold, exhale. Breathe. Let's let the head be heavy, let it dangle, let it be. We'll be making our way now down onto, are we okay for all fours for a couple?
Yeah,
We'll do all fours for a couple here if you're taking care of your wrists. We've got our forearms on a block. Just move through a few cat and cows in a spinal balance. So you can be there. If you really don't want to be down on your wrists or your knees, you can roll over onto your back. And I'll show you an option. All right, let's do our cat and cow here. Exhaling into cat, drawing the pelvic floor up, and then inhale and relaxing. Exhaling, drawing up, separating the shoulder blades. Inhaling, opening up into cow. A few more on your own. Spinal balance, so with or without our blocks, reaching our right arm forward and our left foot back. That is quite challenging on a block if anyone ever wants to try it. And then the other side for 3 to 5 breaths. Breathe. All right, we'll come back to our all fours and make our way to seated position. So just shift it back, hips come around to the front, make your adjustments to your clothes to feel good, to feel successful. You might want your chair after. So because we did grab our straps today, you can use those for our forward folds if you want to. We go around our toes, sitting up nice and tall, and then hinging forward. So this is where you can actually have a little bit of pulling happening, which doesn't happen a lot in yoga. We pull using our biceps, pull our body a little bit closer to our thighs. Or you can just, like as we always do, let gravity draw us towards the thighs. Lengthening our spines, breathing, feeling, making sure to listen to the back of the legs, the back. Few lovely quotes for our optimism practice today. Remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. That's by the Dalai Lama. About 5 more breaths, sink into each exhalation. Inhale and lengthen. The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, whereas the optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. That one is from Winston Churchill. Let's walk it up. Relax those shoulders back and down. Let's give our neck a little stretch. Let's take our right ear towards our right shoulder. You can press that left hand down into the mat if you want to, kind of pressing the earth away as the ear goes down. Bring it up over to the other side. We'll press our right hand into the mat or the block. If your hand doesn't quite get down to the mat, just use your block to find it. Our ears coming towards our shoulder. So great. We'll bring that chin back up. Now turn our chin towards our right shoulder. And we'll bring our right arm out nice and wide and then draw it across the body for a shoulder stretch. Still looking down that shoulder. Keeping our spines long, our legs engaged and strong, our pelvic floor. Wonderful. Let's grab our strap in our right hand, put it down back behind us, and our left hand's going to reach back for it. So we're doing our little stretch here. Maybe your hands do come together already naturally. If not, we just got our strap and we're holding onto it. So our right elbow's pointing up towards the sky. You can have your legs straight or bent, whatever works, because we're going to go into a fold again from here, reaching the chest forward. If it felt a little bit better, you could have knees bent. Awesome. Let's bring it up. Take the strap out. We'll use it up again. Taking our chin over towards our left shoulder. Sitting up nice and tall. Feeling the connection of our sit bones into the mat, the backs of our heels, the backs of our legs. And then opening up that left hand, you can gaze down it. And then let the hand go across while we keep our gaze down the shoulder. And we draw that arm across the body for a stretch for our shoulder here. Keeping it down from the ear. Amazing. Now that strap's going to go into your left hand. Goes up. We want to work towards the palm of this hand on the back with the strap. And then the other hand, it's the back of the hand, reaching forward, wherever you ended up. Or maybe you bring your hands together, clasp them together. Let's take our legs a little bit wider for this one, unless that doesn't feel nice. And we'll do our fold like that. Keeping the spine long and extended. Another quote, we must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope. That one's from Martin Luther King. Good job, ladies. Let's rise it up. We're making our way onto our backs for a quick hamstring stretch on either side. So before you get down there, there's a couple of options. We'll start with your left foot. Either you've got, because these straps, well, if you're using one of mine, they're super long. It could be like this, or you could create a little circle in the end and put it around your left foot. Try not to put my booty right in the camera's face. Find a good angle to roll back. And we've got our hamstring stretch here. So let's go left foot, left hand, shoulder from the ear, chin tucked in just slightly. So that opposite leg, we can either remain with it bent or extend the leg flat down onto the mat. But if that started to feel like your lower back lifted up, pull back a bit. You can use your right hand to anchor down your right hip. So on top, just holding our hip steady. Breathe. Softening the shoulders. If you do have a block nearby, it'll go on the left side of your body, somewhere that perhaps you could rest your knee on once we open up this leg out to the side. And then we open up the leg out to the side. Perhaps it stops on your chair or a block. You're there for about 10 breaths. All right, amazing. Let's bring that knee back up, leg back up. We'll transfer the strap to the, actually don't transfer it, transfer the strap to the other hand first. And we'll draw that foot across the body in the other direction. So you're there for a few breaths before we switch and do this on the other side. All right, bend the knee. We'll take a little rock side to side. Now we'll be switching that strap unless you already did. It's going to go onto your right foot and into your right hand. Left foot on the mat. We start just by drawing that foot a little bit closer, reaching through the heel, keeping a small little bend in the back of our knee. If you've got your block, you could transfer that over to the other side of your body, somewhere to rest your leg or your knee on. We'll slowly and gently bring that knee out, maybe resting on the block. The other leg could be extended as you anchor down the hip. Breathe. The block can be under your leg or even right underneath your thigh, closer to your backside. Softening the jaw. We'll bend that knee. Take the right foot up towards the sky and then transfer your strap into your left hand. So it's still around your right foot, and bring that foot to the other side. Right over onto the hip. And we anchor back down through the shoulder blades. Your hand can be as close as you want to that foot. We're here in this position for about 10 breaths, maybe 15. And we'll move on to a happy baby and some Shavasana on gratitude. A few more breaths there. Make our way into happy baby. One way to use your strap for happy baby is to have it along the bottoms of both of your feet and then drawing it down closer to your body. Unless you already are used to reaching for your ankles and whatnot, it's just a different sensation. As you can find a little rock side to side. Focusing on progress, on optimism today. Prepared for any challenge, optimistic for the opportunities that will come. A few more breaths before we settle in. And when you're ready, let's make our way into our Shavasana pose. So that can be either flat on your back, in a position that you can feel able to let the body completely relax the muscles. If there's another pose that you feel like doing before we head into Shavasana, you can. So even if you're on your back, you can put your bolster under your knees or legs up a wall. Our eye covers go on. Basically finding a position. No rush, take your time. Focus today on gratitude for this meditation. So we've got ourselves in a comfortable position. Take a moment to get comfortable and begin to focus on the natural rhythm of your breath. Inhale slowly and smoothly, allowing the breath to travel deeply into the low belly. Pause and exhale slowly and smoothly, releasing the breath from the body through the nostrils or out your mouth. A few more breaths. Let it come natural. Deep into the lower belly. Take a moment to make any last minute adjustments so your body can remain as comfortable as possible through our guided meditation today. Soften your face and jaw and allow the breath to flow smoothly in and out. Soften the eyes and relax the shoulders. Let your entire body feel relaxed, heavy, weighted, and secure. And slowly coming back to the sound of my voice, continue to breathe and let any distracting thoughts float away from you. Feel gratitude today for your family and your friends, for their love and support, however it is given. Feel gratitude for the community that surrounds you and supports you. Everyone from your grocer to your hairstylist, your dentist, doctor, your neighbors, co-workers, your yoga teacher, the snowplow operator. Absolutely grateful for our city employees. Let your heart expand to include your family, friends, and your community today. Gently breathe in, and as you exhale, allow your hips to soften and relax. Inhale, feeling your belly expand. Exhale, letting your belly relax and soften towards your spine. Feel gratitude for your sense of self that defines who you are and allows you to serve the world in your special way. Soften your ribs, your back, and the area that surrounds your heart. Feel your heart expand as you feel gratitude for the beauty of all nature around you, for the trees, plants, and flowers, and for the creatures that share our beautiful world. Relax your shoulders, soften your arms. Swallow and relax your jaw, your mouth, and your tongue. Feel gratitude for your intuition, that little voice inside that guides you on the right path, the good path. Feel gratitude for all the times you have listened and tuned into this wisdom from within. Soften the top of your head and sense the connection around you through your breath. Feel connected to all of those around you and to something larger than yourself. Feel grateful for that connection that makes you whole, complete. Feel a deep sense of peace today and contentment surrounding you. Take a few gentle breaths in and out. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Slowly making some movements to our hands and to our feet. Moving our fingers, our toes. If we're in legs up a wall, we'll bend our knees. Stay there for a breath or two. If you're on your back with your knees bent, you can move your knees side to side. When you're ready, we'll move our head side to side. And from there, making our way to an easy seated position. I mean side of your body first. Rolling over onto one side, take a breath or two. Feel that connection, press down into the earth to rise up. We make our way back to our easy seat. Let's take some big breaths in, filling up with optimism today. Exhaling, bringing our hands to our heart. Our focus of our practice this week. One more big breath in. draw that feeling of peace and gratitude towards ourselves. Namaste. Thank you for joining today, whether you're at home or in person. Great choices all around. I love each and every one of you. Okay. Bye, friends at home. See you later.